What is going on, everyone? How are you guys doing today? Today's date is January 3rd, 2021, and this is our first video in the new year. How exciting. And before we go any further, I just want to take a quick moment and wish you guys a very happy new year. I hope this year is filled with an abundance of joy, good health, and stock market success. So anyway, guys, my name is Ryan Williams, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about a company that I just recently found out about called Skyworks Solutions, ticker symbol SWKS. So I recently found out about Skyworks Solution from watching my man Jeremy over at Financial Education here on YouTube. Definitely go check out that channel, check out some of his videos there. Very good, and I've learned a lot from watching them. But anyway, since I first heard about this company through some of Jeremy's videos, I've been doing my own research, and I have reason to believe that Skyworks Solution might be a good investment to buy now and hold over the long term, especially as we move further into this technologically advanced era that we're currently living in. Anyway, we are going to cover Skyworks Solutions in depth. I'm going to talk about what they do as a company, and I will break down why I think it could possibly be a good investment to get into. And just so you guys know where I'm at, I haven't personally bought any shares of Skyworks Solutions yet. I'm still kind of chewing on it, still kind of looking at it, thinking it over, but it is something that I might be investing in here pretty soon. And real quick, before we dive in, if you guys are as excited to learn about Skyworks Solutions as I am to teach you about it, please do me a super quick favor and just hit that like button as hard as you can. Make it blue for me real quick. I would really, really appreciate it. Now that that's taken care of, without further ado, let's get into it. So before we get into the nitty-gritty details of Skyworks stock, let's first establish who this company is and what they do. So according to the company profile here on seekingalpha.com, I'll just read a little bit from it. Skyworks Solutions, together with its subsidiaries, designs, develops, manufactures, and markets proprietary semiconductor products, yada, yada, yada. Its product portfolio includes amplifiers, antenna tuners, attenuators, circulators / isolators, some other stuff, wireless analog, system-on-chip products, and a whole bunch of other technological products. It looks like Skyworks products are used in industries such as aerospace, automotive, broadband, cellular infrastructure, home entertainment and gaming, and a ton more. So a lot going on there, and I know I kind of skimmed through that, but to simplify it a little bit, guys, essentially Skyworks makes pieces like chips and amplifiers and converters that go into some of the various technological devices that we use pretty commonly today. Like, they work a lot with Apple products. And as we'll soon cover, they really specialize in wireless connectivity chips that will be in much bigger demand as 5G connectivity becomes more widespread. All right, guys, now moving on, now that we've talked a little bit about what Skyworks does and sticking to the topic of 5G, I think that this company is positioning themselves quite well for the 5G era that we're kind of heading into. And as you can see from the image here on the screen, Skyworks is currently serving customers in a handful of different markets, and these companies produce a wide range of products. So looking at this picture here, I mean, Skyworks is currently working with some pretty big players. We have Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all in the cloud computing sort of industry, BMW, GM, Tesla, a ton of car manufacturing companies here. Other companies like Nokia and Ericsson, which are working pretty heavy in 5G development, and other companies too, like Samsung, LG, Honeywell, that makes some household appliances, other products, Fitbit, wearables, Nest, home security. So they have their hands in a lot of different industries with a lot of different companies here. And as we move into the future, guys, there will be more of a demand for these products to connect and interact with one another, and that can be seen from this image right here that compares what Skyworks refers to as the old world, which is probably the world that we're living in right now and sort of moving out of into this new world over here. And a quick sidebar, all of these screenshots we're looking at today, or most of them, are from Skyworks' company overview that they put out like yesterday, so it's super fresh. And going back to this image right here, guys, this old world is really all about connecting people, so connecting us with our devices and connecting us with other people around the world, and we've certainly seen that with the advance of things like social media and just, I mean, you can pretty much do anything on these phones, these computers nowadays. So we are very, very connected. But as we move out of this old world, according to Skyworks, we will be moving into this new world over here, which instead of connecting people, it's connecting everything. And what this might look like, according to this image here, I'm just kind of dissecting some of these pictures we're looking at. That suggests greater advances in things like artificial intelligence, probably greater technology for smart homes. Obviously, we've seen some great technological developments as it relates to automobiles. I'm sure we'll see it in manufacturing, industrials, and healthcare as well. All these other industries will be, according to Skyworks, in this world that we're moving into, more connected and relying more on technology. I think that's the point they're trying to get to. In a nutshell, guys, in this new world, the objective will be to connect all of these different devices to one another, you know, connecting our cars to our homes, our refrigerators to our Apple Watches and whatnot. Everything's gonna be connected. In fact, moving on to this next image here, according to Skyworks, 73% of cars by 2024 will have cellular connectivity, which is a pretty big deal. I believe right now that exists for cars, but I think it's considered more of a luxury feature. So it's not included in the majority of cars at all at this point. But Skyworks thinks that as we move in this new direction, that will start to become more of a staple feature in cars. So that's just one example. All right, now moving on, everything that we just talked about, everything being connected, this is only possible with the expansion of 5G. And the opportunity to capitalize on 5G implementation is huge, especially for someone like Skyworks, who is already putting their chips in a lot of these big products, or a lot of these products that we use that will have much greater connectivity. And looking at this slide right here, guys, today where we're currently at, as you can see, a lot of people are getting their connection to the internet probably on their cell phones using 4G, 3G, 2G. And then it looks like a quarter of the people here are connected using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. And then another quarter of people are wired in hardline. So that's what's going on today. But according to Skyworks here, as 5G becomes more widespread, they are anticipating that it's really gonna take off. So at that point, once 5G really is implemented widespread, half of the people will be connected using 5G. So it will take up a lot of the market. Most of the people are going to be getting their internet using 5G or connecting their devices to one another using 5G. And moving on to this next slide right here, guys, kind of the same thing. As we move into more of a 5G dependent future, it's really going to expand the type of devices that can be connected to the internet. Things like artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, autonomous driving, smart cities, all these things over in this emerging column will be fair game. And so that's really going to expand the type of devices that can really benefit from Skyworks products, from having their chips in them. And as you guys saw from those two slides we just looked at, 5G connectivity will greatly expand the type of devices that can be connected to the internet, which, like I just said, is only going to be good for Skyworks, especially since they are already providing their chips in a lot of these products. All right, guys, so the last reason that I think Skyworks Solutions is at the very least worth looking into investing is because of this slide right here. This is the investment thesis from their company overview. And essentially it details an equation that will add up to show us how they will deliver long-term shareholder value. So let's just run through it real quick. So item number one, they are uniquely positioned to capitalize on the immense 5G opportunity. Now, this is something we've already talked about. Like I mentioned earlier, 5G is coming, it is on the way, and currently Skyworks is providing their connectivity chips in a lot of big products that will benefit from expanded 5G connectivity. So they're in a great position to capitalize on the coming 5G wave. Moving on to item two, kind of ties into item one. They're the trusted technology leader executing across multiple wireless transitions. Point number three, broadening their reach across markets and customers. So earlier in the video, guys, I showed you that screenshot that had all the different companies that they're currently working with. It had Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Fitbit, all those companies. And essentially the point that this point number three is trying to make is that they're pretty diversified in the companies that they're working with. It's not just the automotive industry, it's not just the It's not just Apple, it's a good mix of companies across a handful of different sectors. Which leads us to point number 4. They're strategically positioned with world-class scale and technological depth. So as the 5G wave comes, because they're diversified and already working with all of these different companies, they're gonna be able to scale pretty well from what it sounds like. Moving on to point number 5, and this is one that I'm very excited about. I think this is super important. Point number 5, Skyworks uses a highly profitable financial model that provides superior returns. And all of these things add up to deliver long-term shareholder value. As a dividend investor, this is super, super important. Long-term value is something that is very, very important to me. In fact, it's pretty much everything. So, we don't invest in dividend-paying companies to reap the benefits tomorrow or next week or next month or even 1 or 2 years from now. This is more of a 5, 10, 20+ year game. So long-term value is essential. It is essential. And that is a big reason why I'm considering buying into the stock. And having said all of this, guys, we actually haven't discussed Skyworks financials or their dividend yet. So let's take a moment and run through that. All right, guys, so we are back on Seeking Alpha, and we're just gonna run through the whole kit and caboodle as it relates to Skyworks here. So just kicking things off, Skyworks is currently sitting at $152.88 per share. And if we look down over here at this 52-week range, it is sitting towards the top of that. So this is one of the only things I'm not really excited about as it pertains to Skyworks. It seems like it's a pretty expensive buy right now. And that's part of the reason, it's actually a big reason I haven't already invested into this stock or into this company. It's because I'm not sure that I want to pay that much for this stock yet. So kind of where I'm at, I'm gonna watch it a little bit longer and see if it comes down at all, or maybe it'll go up. I just wanna see what it's gonna do. I don't wanna just rush into it, especially because I'm in a pretty good spot with my portfolio. I'm pretty happy with my stocks. I really wanna chew on this one a little bit longer to be sure that it's worth the long-term investment, because I really wanna get out of the habit of buying stocks and then selling them, just because I changed my mind on them. So I want to avoid that. And one way for me to do that is just to take things a little bit slower, do a little more research, think about it a little bit longer before committing to it. All right, so now that I'm done ranting on that, let's continue on here. Let's scroll down a little bit here. Let's look at their year-over-year revenue. So as you can see, from 2016 on, it's been kind of up and down. It really hasn't been straight up like we'd like to see. Especially in 2020, we don't really expect for any company's revenue to be up. It was a year, to say the least. But looking at this revenue here, October 2020, they were at 3.36 billion, and they are expected to do pretty good in 2021, matching their actually doing better than their all-time high revenue of 3.87 billion here in 2018. 2021 will be a little bit higher with estimated 3.93 billion, and then 2022 and beyond is probably the same. So as we move into 2022, Skyworks is anticipating doing 4.27 billion in revenue, which is good. We want to see revenue going up over time. And with that said, guys, going back to this price up here, although it's expensive right now, if this turns out to be true and revenue does continue to increase, then it is possible that the share price will increase as well. So might not be something we want to miss out on. So it's kind of a predicament right there. All right, now let's head over to this dividend section right here and check out their dividend scorecard. So this is another thing I'm not too stoked about. Their dividend yield is pretty dang low right now. It's only 1.31%. I'm used to buying stocks in the 2 to 4 to maybe even higher percentage range. But as I mentioned in other videos, guys, this current dividend yield is not at all the end-all be-all. One of the silver linings behind this dividend is this growth rate right here. So the 5-year compound annual growth rate is 19.24%, which is pretty high. And so while this current dividend yield is pretty low, I think it makes up for it with its growth rate. And as we go over here to, I think, dividend growth, yeah, this will show that not only is this 5-year number pretty high, but 3 years it's grown 16.14%. In the trailing 12 months, the dividend has grown 14.63%. So these are all really high growth numbers, which I think make up for the low current dividend yield. In addition to that, guys, the dividend, they've been growing the dividend for 6 years now. And as we saw from the investment thesis slide, it does seem like they have the intent to keep growing that dividend. So that's super important for us dividend investors. And let's hit this dividend history button here, guys, hit all time. This is what we want to see. We really do want to see the dividends going up and up over time. So in a nutshell, the thing to consider about Skyworks is that number one, it's a very expensive buy right now in the 52-week period, but it could continue to go up, guys. As 5G becomes more widespread and they are able to capitalize on that, we're gonna see the share price increase and hopefully this dividend increase as well. So something to think about. It's something I'm thinking about. Item number two to keep in mind with Skyworks is the dividend yield is kind of low right now, but it is growing pretty rapidly. So could be a good time to start capitalizing on that. All right, guys, well, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you got something out of it and learned a little bit about Skyworks Solutions. Like I said, it seems like a pretty good company. It's one that's sitting right at the top of my watch list. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but oh, I am leaning towards it. And with that said, I would be very curious to know, what do you guys think about this stock? What do you think about Skyworks Solutions? Leave me a comment below and let me know. Maybe there's something I missed in this video that you can fill me in on. The more info, the better. We're all on this together, guys. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this company. And I look forward to hearing from you on that. And with that said, I will now get out of your hair, guys. Thank you so much for giving this video a watch. It means a lot. And if you haven't done so already, please give the video a big thumbs up. If you made it this far into it, I'm guessing you enjoyed it at least a little bit. All right, now, seriously, I'm gone. I'm out of your guys' hair. Thank you so much again. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.